Please subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon, you'll be notified of the latest videos. Thank you for joining our educational series today. Sage here for Kalkinemedia. We're going to be covering what is a blind trust. A blind trust is a revocable or irrevocable living trust that gives the trustee or another party complete control over the assets. A blind trust's trustee cannot be the trustor or owner. Instead, the trustee must be a neutral third party with no personal connections to the trustor, and this is required for a blind trust to accomplish its goals of maintaining high levels of secrecy and avoiding conflicts of interest. The trustor can suspend the trust at any moment, but they have no influence over the trust's actions and receives no reports from the trustees while the blind trust is in effect. How does a blind trust function? The trustor hires a trustee to function as the fiduciary in a blind trust, which means the trustee has overall management of the assets and is responsible for upholding the trust agreement, such as dispersing the assets after the trustor's death. And furthermore, the trust can hold various investments, including bonds, real estate and equities, and the trustor and trustee are frequently in contact with one another, and the trust's beneficiary is generally aware of the trust and its assets. While the trust has been created, the trustor can specify the trust's parameters, such as the aims for any investments kept in the blind trust or the beneficiaries. However, once the trust instrument, a written document that authorises the trust, is signed and finished, the trustor and beneficiaries will have no more contact with the trustee regarding asset management. So what are the different kinds of blind trusts? A blind trust is a type of living trust that might be revocable or irrevocable. It can be a revocable trust, which means that the trustor can modify the trust and the trustee and dissolve the trust. The trustor may, for example, add assets to the trust while removing others, select a new trustee, bring beneficiaries to the trust, or select a new trustee. Blind trust may be an irrevocable trust, which means that the trustor cannot change it once it is made, and the trustor would create a revocable or irrevocable trust depending on the scenario and the trust's aim. An irrevocable trust, for instance, can be created such that assets are no longer the trustor's legal property, prohibiting the government and creditors from collecting the assets. So what are the reasons for forming a blind trust? Trustors may face conflicts of interest in certain circumstances. The goal of a blind trust is to avoid those conflicts. A retired company executive, for example, could be on the board of directors, and all potential conflicts of interest should be avoided because board members have a fiduciary responsibility to shareholders. A conflict of interest exists when a board member stands to profit from a policy decision and owns business stock. If the board members' shares are kept in a blind trust, the conflict of interest will be avoided because they will not know how the decision will affect their ownership. This is especially important for an investor who is deemed an insider and may be charged with insider trading, which is the act of trading stocks based on reports that are unavailable to the general public and is sometimes prosecuted as a crime. So who can create a blind trust? Anyone could theoretically create a blind trust. However, it only utilises when people need to separate themselves from their assets to avoid professional conflicts of interest. Putting assets in a blind trust can help government officials and politicians avoid conflicts of interest by keeping their personal and professional lives separate to some extent. Individuals and corporate executives who serve on a board of directors may also establish a blind trust for asset management to prevent a similar situation, and as a result, they may avoid any financial dealings that could lead to a conflict of interest. Thanks for joining us. If you like the information, please like, share, comment on the video below. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, just press the bell icon and you'll be notified of the latest videos. For more information and regular updates, head to the website kalkinemedia.com. Sage here for Kalkinemedia.